The moment the world cracked open did not arrive with thunder or screams. It arrived quietly in a small room that smelled of antiseptic and old paint. When her trembling hands rested over her stomach and her eyes carried a fear that was older than words. In that instant, time slowed, my past rushed forward, and my future stood waiting, demanding an answer I was not sure I deserved to give. Before this story unfolds any further, pause for a heartbeat. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of choosing love even when fear is loud, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles. Your support keeps stories like this alive. I had always believed my life would follow a simple pattern. Work hard, stay invisible, avoid disappointment. I grew up watching promises break easily, watching men walk away from responsibilities with excuses disguised as pride. Somewhere along the way, I learned to keep my expectations small so they would hurt less when they collapsed. Love, to me, was something fragile, like glass already cracked before you touched it. She entered my life quietly, the way some people do, without grand entrances or dramatic moments. We met during a season when both of us were tired of pretending we were fine. She carried her own wounds, invisible to the world but heavy in her eyes. What began as comfort slowly became connection, and connection became something deeper before either of us realized how far we had fallen. There was no promise of forever, only stolen moments, shared silences, and a belief that what we had was real enough for now. When she told me about the baby, the room felt smaller, as if the walls leaned in to hear my response. Fear surged first, sharp and unforgiving. I thought of my unstable income, my unresolved past, the version of myself I was still trying to fix. I thought of the nights I lay awake wondering if I was enough for anyone, let alone a child who would one day look at me and expect answers, guidance, safety. But beneath the fear was something else, something steady and unfamiliar, responsibility, not the kind forced by society or guilt, but the kind that rises from love when love is tested. I looked at her, at the way her shoulders curved inward, as if bracing for abandonment, and I understood that this moment would define us both forever. I asked about marriage not because tradition demanded it, but because I wanted to know if we were willing to choose each other fully, without escape routes. Marriage to me meant standing still when running felt easier. It meant showing up every day, even when feelings changed and life became heavy. I was not asking if we would be happy forever. I was asking if we would stay. The days that followed were some of the hardest of my life. Reality did not soften itself for romance. Bills waited, families questioned, friends offered opinions disguised as concern. I battled my own doubts daily, waking up with my heart racing, wondering if I was making promises my future self would resent. There were nights I sat alone, staring at the ceiling, imagining every possible way I could fail. She struggled too. Her body changed, her emotions surged, and the weight of becoming a mother pressed down on her quietly. Society was not kind. People whispered, some judged, some offered advice that felt more like blame. Yet every morning, she placed her hands over her belly with a tenderness that humbled me. That tiny life growing inside her became a reminder that something pure could emerge even from uncertainty. Slowly, change began in places I did not expect. I started working harder, not for pride, but for purpose. I learned discipline, patience, and humility. I stopped chasing distractions and started building stability. I spoke to my fears instead of running from them. For the first time, I was not living only for myself. Our relationship deepened under pressure. We learned how to communicate without shouting, how to sit with silence without resentment. Love stopped feeling like fireworks and started feeling like commitment. It was quieter, heavier, and far more powerful. There were setbacks, arguments, moments when exhaustion made us question everything. But there was also growth, forgiveness, and the steady realization that we were stronger together than apart. When the baby kicked for the first time, I felt something inside me unlock, a softness I did not know I carried. I imagined small hands gripping my finger, small feet running toward me, a voice calling me father. The word felt strange at first, then sacred. I was no longer just a man trying to survive. I was becoming someone a child could depend on. Marriage did not arrive as a fairy tale. It arrived as a decision made on tired days, with honest conversations and practical plans. It arrived with fear still present but no longer in control. We chose to stand beside each other, not because life was perfect, but because love had proven itself in imperfection. The day our child was born, the world changed again, but this time gently. As I held that tiny life, everything I once feared felt smaller. My past mistakes did not vanish, but they no longer defined me. I understood then that becoming a father was not about being flawless. It was about being present, about choosing responsibility every single day, even when it scared you. If this story has begun to move you, if you feel your chest tighten with recognition or hope, please remember that your engagement helps these stories reach others who need them. Like, share, and comment to support the Kindness Chronicles, because kindness grows when stories are shared. Life did not suddenly become easy. Parenthood tested us in new ways. Sleepless nights, financial stress, moments of self-doubt returned often. But now, there was purpose in the struggle. There was laughter echoing through our home, tiny milestones that felt like miracles, and a love that had matured into something unshakable. Looking back, I realized the question I asked that day was not just about marriage. It was about courage. About whether I was willing to step into a life I did not plan but was called to live. The answer changed everything. As this story comes to an end, I ask you gently, from one human heart to another, if this journey touched you, if it reminded you of second chances, responsibility, or the power of choosing love. Please engage with this video. Like it, share it, subscribe, and most importantly, leave a comment below telling us which line or moment stayed with you. Your words matter more than you know.